Hey everybody, how are we doing tonight? Things are good here. Just busy as always, trying to catch up on stuff and all the other things we've got going on around here. I hope my mic sounds better today. I think I've plugged it back in the way it used to be, so I don't know. I didn't get a chance to test it, but yeah, great shirt. I'm gonna get that out of the way. I'm just a Bill. This was a gift from Sean Rutan from Hakes and his buddy Marvin Hoover. We were at New York Comic-Con probably the last year before the pandemic, and they came back with this and said that they saw it on the wall and they had to buy me one. So yeah, I was very happy to get it, and I can tell you it's probably one of the more comfortable shirts I've ever gotten. So I don't know why I haven't worn it before now. So yeah, so it's nice to have everybody here. As always, I saw everybody, all the usual guys in the chat early on. I'm wondering, as far as Mr. Redjack, you always ask people to introduce themselves. Does anybody ever introduce themselves? I never pay attention enough to the chat early on to see if anybody's new, but I hope it works because you're so diligent at letting everybody know that they're welcome here. And yeah, it would be nice to know that some people do introduce themselves into the chat. But yeah, so Scott said never too early for a few thumbs up. But yeah, so a little, just I'm not getting caught up. I'm so far behind in emails right now, and I feel very negligent. Just trying to take care of some of the more emergency related stuff that pops up. We've had, obviously since the accident, I've just been, got like all this insurance stuff around me. Can't get anybody to reply to me. Been following up with calls. We had the doctor's appointment scheduled for Wednesday. And then because there was some issues with the claim numbers and all this other stuff, we had to postpone the doctor visit. So we're going tomorrow morning. Whether or not they have claim numbers or anything, or or any of that sort of thing, we're just told them I'll pay out of pocket if that's what's needed to get to get our doctor visits in. So we're going in tomorrow at like 8:30. So I'm actually going to try to keep things under 2 hours tonight, and I think we can do it because I don't have a lot to talk about tonight. I know I always say that, but I think tonight might actually be, I might be keeping my word. There is no giveaway tonight. I have to say, Scott Wingo and Dan Poddick, I think Eric B. and Tyler T. I owe hats to. I have not mailed them yet. So my goal is to get them packed. I don't even know, like I mentioned before, I don't even know where the post office is around here. Got to find it. But I am going to make an effort. I've got boxes to put them all in, and I will mail them out. And then next week we can start giving away the rest of all of those hats. I've got at least 20 more hats to give away, and so we'll get to that as soon as I possibly can. See, after everybody loves his shirt, I should have worn it a long time ago. I'll have to tell Sean that it was a hit. He's never seen me in it either. But so yeah, so a couple things after. Let's see, we didn't talk about it on Tuesday, but. I don't think I even realized it, but I probably knew it on Tuesday. At any rate, we had an issue with the hourly emails that go out for premium members, and we also had an issue with, and of course it tied into the 5-minute keyword emails that go out. Sometime on Monday morning around 7 a.m. they stopped getting sent, and it bottlenecked the queue on the database server, and I wasn't alerted to it till about Tuesday afternoon, and so we did a reboot on SQL. It was early on Wednesday. It took about 4 hours to clear the queue out. They kind of kept going out in batches. Every hour they would send out another 400 or 500 emails, and it finally got caught up around noon. So for those of you who didn't get your emails on Monday or Tuesday, that was why. But they were there. They all did get sent. So you would have gotten all those emails, but they would have come in late, and your keyword as it happens emails would have come in batches as well. So I apologize for that. Doesn't happen too often. I think that's probably maybe the second time in a year and a half that's happened. And I can't tell you why, no rhyme or reason. Maybe there's a momentary connection issue with the mail server, and then all of a sudden the mails just start piling up and won't go out. So, and then when it gets to a certain size, it just decides it's not going to do it at all until you reboot. So, we worked our way through that and got things caught up. Tyler doesn't usually wear hats. Well, it could go on a shelf somewhere, Tyler. I will get it to you. And the thing was, Tyler, I'll be honest. Remember, you had mentioned, I told everybody one day that I'd found a comics code, piece of an original stat. I found that when I was packing up the house in Ohio, and it's in a box around here. So I should probably hold off on sending you your hat until I find that comics code stat too, because it is in about, for me, I only have like 3 boxes to put in here. So it's in one of them. I will find that and make sure you get both the hat and the stat, because yeah, that was cool. And I actually found a word balloon too that I had no idea when it went to when I cleaned up everything. So so yeah. So other than that, there was I think other than the email issue, I mean, I know people asked me about I had that my Thorda welcome to Thorda video on Tuesday. And I did take it offline on Wednesday. Several people recommended that I cut part of what I talked about out of the accident. I think, and so I did. But unfortunately, YouTube, usually you can edit a video almost immediately after it's posted. For some reason, it took almost, I don't know, 18, 20 hours before it stopped processing to where I could actually trim the part out. I basically cut off from the point Gwen left until I got to the second topic. So but I turned it off because people were like, you shouldn't be talking about something like that, that hasn't been, vetted or decided or anything like that, and started making me feel guilty and nervous, and I'm actually still nervous about it because I haven't gotten a copy of the accident report. They haven't posted it yet, so you just never know what might happen. So I'm even contemplating just deleting the whole first part of it entirely, so there's like no mention in the world about that conversation I started things off with. So anyway, so yes, if you ever go back and look at it and it's missing all the front end of it, that'll be why. So I think if that report isn't posted tomorrow, I'll probably be so nervous that I will delete the front end of it, even though there's nothing. That was when Gwen and I were hanging out and talking. And if I have to do that, that'll be a reason for me to get Gwen back on the show one way or another on some segment, whatever that might be. Maybe I get her to read the introduction to Dueling Dealers sometime, so I don't have to do it, or we'll figure a way to get her onto the show one way or another. David Matheny, you're excited about the Wolvie fan interview coming up on the 25th. Yeah, definitely. Does anybody know what Wolvie fan looks like? I could show you because I actually loaded up the slide that I put together today. There you go, right there. That will be next Tuesday at 9 p.m. I'll be talking with Wolvie fan Rob. And I didn't ask Rob if I could use his real name, so I didn't want to put his last name on there. I figured I could at least say Wolvie fan Rob and get away with that. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. He used to be a comic shop owner back in the day, and I had him try to dig up any old photos of the shop that he had, and there's even artwork on the back of the wall. So he was interested in that kind of thing in the mid 90s. So it's definitely going to be a good interview, and I'm looking forward to hanging out and chatting with him, especially if he has that beard, right? If he puts those braids in there, I think it's going to make for a fun looking chat. Yeah, maybe I should have Chris Snork sit in and do the interview with Wolvie fan. The battle of the beards, because the other picture that I got from Wolvie fan, he didn't have it tied up, and he looked like I can't even. He looked like a barbarian basically with his beard all hanging out. Yeah, he looks like he eats what he kills, says Chris Snork. Yes, exactly. Anthony's pimping out. He's got 750 new pieces on the website. Check it out. He did post a lot. I didn't even get through. I was thumbing through Anthony's stuff earlier today. I did not get through all of the artwork that he was posting. But yes, Anthony did a very large update. Probably a few other people did too, but Anthony was active, or at least he had Bobby active. So outside of that, I wanted to talk about Comic Art Live. Comic Art Live, of course, is going to be the weekend of November 12th and 13th. And the good thing there is that, exhibitors can start setting up their booths. I have, that's all activated now. For those of you who don't know how to set up a booth, if you're a premium member, you get to exhibit for free. And, of course, get other perks. If you're a premium member and you're not exhibiting, you also get early access to the show on Saturday. You get in at 11 o'clock when the whole show opens at 1 p.m. to the general public, which is always a big plus. That first 2 hours of shopping is a big advantage. And then, of course, we've also got it's not going to be an email, but we'll populate a search result page for you to make it super easy to browse all of the artwork that you're most interested in based on your keywords. And, that will be out there and published probably 20 minutes before the show opens. I think that's what we did last time. And then equally the same drop and post will happen on Sunday prior to the 11 a.m. art drop on that day. But, for the sake of doing it, I'll go ahead and just show a few things related to Comic Art Live. Let's see, I'll make the screen a little bit bigger than that so you can actually see it. For those of you who are not familiar with it, you just go to the Comic Art Live section. All the information about the show is there as far as dates and times. If you want to exhibit or if you want to attend, all of that information is just spelled out for you in easy to understand terms. We do offer a 3-month membership versus the annual membership for this during this period costs $35. Obviously, I would encourage anybody just to spend, if you're going to go 2 times a year, you might as well just spend the $75 for the whole year, get all the advantages of being a premium member, but the choice is always yours if you want to just spend the $35. But you get a 3-month membership and you can still get the same perks, have an exhibitor booth, have the early access. I mean, every show, there's always between 50 and 100 people that opt for the $35 option. And hey, I'm okay with that if that works for those people. And many of them do it twice. So they're spending $70 a year just for the early access to the show. And I guess that's a positive thing, right? At the end, that tells me that they like the show, but maybe they're not too interested in getting any of the extra perks that premium members would get, as far as any other things that they might get advantage of or take advantage of on CAF year round. And why wouldn't they? Should. I mean, if they're buying artwork, they should take advantage of it. But to populate your exhibitor booth, if you would like to have an exhibitor booth, go over to your managed galleries section. Right up here at the top above your entire gallery list is a setup booth button, and you go through there. I've already done the confirmation, and there's terms. If you haven't already done that, the first page you land on will be a terms and conditions. Just talks about being a good seller and be responsive and all those sorts of things. And that initial page allows you to set up whether you're a collector or potentially a dealer, those a few other bits of data, but not a whole lot. You get over to this page, and this is where you're able to go ahead and configure things like the main image on your booth if you want. Make sure you can check out, make sure all your data is correct. You're logged into the right CAF account for those of you who have more than one. All those sorts of things. It's easy enough. You can tab between a Sunday art drop or the Saturday art drop to post your artworks. I'm going to be selling some golf balls and the Comic Art Live logo, as you can see. But some of the changes that we've made in the past that are still there as far as adding artwork to your booth, all standard stuff looks a lot like when you're adding art to CAF. But if you're posting all your artwork to Saturday, you can, instead of just clicking the add artwork and return to the booth, you can click add artwork and add another artwork to Saturday. So you can just stick on this page essentially and keep adding all your art to your exhibitor booth for that one day. When you're done with Saturday, switch over to the Sunday tab and go back and just start adding artwork to Sunday. So all pretty straightforward, but anybody who has any questions about how to set up their booths should shoot me an email. Through the site, villacomicartfans.com, you know how to get out and get in touch with me. And it has all the same features that most premium members get as far as being able to order the artworks and that sort of thing. And, you're limited to the number of pieces you can have each day. It's 24 artworks per day. So you get 24 artworks on the Saturday drop, and then you get to add another 24 on the second day. And it's adding. Anything on Sunday is adding to the artwork on Saturday. So don't add the same artwork to both of them, because then you're just adding it in twice. So if you put 24 and 10 in Sunday, then you'll have 34 artworks at 11 a.m. on Sunday when the Sunday art drop happens. And of course, we do the 2 art drops because we want people to be coming back to the show on Sunday and having a good time buying artwork as well. As I tell everybody, put your best art out there on Saturday, because that's the day the premium members have the 2-hour early access. And, I want to be able to give as many perks as we can to the premium members. So having those 2 initial hours where they only have access to the show, I hope that you're presenting your best work on Saturday morning. And by and large, we know before the show opens, we're usually at 300,000 to 400,000 in sales in the first 2 hours. So that's usually the best art's there, the best art's selling, and that's generally the most activity. I guess I haven't really checked it hour to hour. I would imagine the 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock hours on Saturday are pretty popular as sales as well when the general population gets in who aren't premium. But, just keep all those factors in mind. Open more accounts, says Marcus. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah. See, I'm not used to having this mic in front of me. I'm going to have to figure something out here with this desk setup. At any rate, so, but any questions on Comic Art Live, please let me know. Oh, Sydney, yes. So you asked me if I was going to be at IX, and I do apologize. I think I missed that question probably from last week. I wish I could be there too. I'm Todd from Infected by Art, my partner on that book project, is going to be at IX. He arrives tonight, so he'll be at the show tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. So if you're there, say hi to him. I definitely should be there next year, I miss getting out there. I think I probably went to 8 shows prior to the pandemic, consecutively, and I love everybody there. It's a fantastic show. And I actually picked a piece of art that Patrick Wilshire owns to be in my feature set today, just because it's Patrick's got an amazing collection, and it's IX related, and it's an IX weekend. So yep, next year. Marcus, there will be no preview email, as we all know. We learned our lesson the hard way last year, or not last, well, in May, so 6 months ago. Yeah, we're not sending emails out of Sequel before the show starts. That was a big mistake. But yeah, so as far as booth goes, everything else is in there. So one of the things, we wanted to make some changes and additions to the Comic Art Live platform, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen in its entirety, but one feature that was part of it, I think, is going to make it. Maureen and I, are working through part of it right now. But one of the biggest things that we all keep talking about is determining, and establishing trust between members of the site. Even though it's a small community, at the end of the day, and many of us know many collectors' names, and we're familiar with them over time. A lot of people don't use their real names on CAF, and there are lots of collectors who are unknowns out there. So, they start a new CAF account, don't post art in their gallery, and nobody trusts them. So one of the things that I hope that will be there, and it should be there, is going to be the ability for us to have a feedback system between buyer and seller. And that means a bit of an overhaul to the email system, because, we want to allow people to make the inquiries for purchase, and then allow the seller and buyer to leave feedback for one another once the transaction is done. It's not something that we're going to roll out to everybody on the site. It's there's a plan in place on how we're going to handle that. But as far as it relates to Comic Art Live as a con, I think it's a special event, and it's one that anybody who are committing transactions between one another during that show, who have CAF accounts, should be allowed to leave feedback for each other. Lyle, it is your real name. All right, I know. Hey, I know how it goes. But Chris goes by Marcus. All right, I hear you. But at any rate, that's part of the plan. I mean, it's something. Obviously we hear about it all the time. People who have CAF galleries, no artwork in it. We don't trust them. We don't want to sell them. We don't even want to reply to them. Yeah, that becomes a big issue. I can tell you that. I'm not sure this is going to solve all of our problems, but if we have a feedback system in there for buyers and sellers, people who don't have art in their CAF galleries can be buying art from people and getting feedback and establishing trust as a zero art gallery account. And I think that that's a good thing overall. And again, I get so many questions from people all the time about can I trust this seller, even down to, gosh, who I got an email recently from somebody who wanted to know whether or not, it was either Pete Koch or, no, it was Hans, actually. Hans, who's been around for many, many years. I was going to say forever, but he's not that old. But he's been selling for 30 years. And the question was more, it wasn't about his inventory on CAF. Somebody was literally saying, can I buy art from Tri-State? I've never heard of them. I'm like, well, yeah, they've been around. I've never bought any artwork from Hans, but he's been around a long time, has an excellent reputation, et cetera, et cetera. So, I think probably an extrapolation to buyers and sellers on CAF making transactions, I think finding ways to leave feedback for dealers might be of benefit too. But I don't know. It's convoluted. There's still a lot to think about, make sure it works right, but it is the direction that we are headed. So what are we looking at? Okay. Where do I want to go from there? After that, but I do hope they have that programming in there. And I think Maureen and I will be able to get that done, at least as a first pass, and then we'll kind of grow with it as we see how it works. But I think establishing reputations on CAF because of transactions that happen there is a very valid thing to initiate as a program, and I think it kind of fits in well with with things that we want to also establish going forward on CAF. So looking forward to doing that. Speaking of IX, I was going to mention, I think I talked about it once before. Let me see here. I should have put this someplace easy to reach, but let me go ahead and make a switch here like that. That's the Infected by Art book that we publish every year. I should put it right here. Just hold it up for everybody. Artist name on the cover, Carly Milligan. She's a fantastic artist. Kai Carpenter, another fantastic traditional painter. Both of them are kind of, I'd say 80% of the book, or at least 70%, is all traditional art. But that's out there right now as a Kickstarter. I didn't link it anywhere into the show description, but I'll just throw it in the chat. If those of you are interested in supporting a book project that we have always, that I've worked on for 9 years, this is the 10th edition of this book. I started with the second one. It's just a great art book if you're into science fiction, fantasy artwork, modern, primarily traditional work. There's a section for digital painters as well. But we debut the book every year at the EXP show. EXP show is in, Reading. It's in Reading, PA. So honestly, Anthony, it's a show you should go to. It's a incredible show as far as seeing traditional, not just painters, sculptors, and other mixed media artists are there. It's 2 separate shows, to be honest with you. They have a huge facility at this place called the Goggle Works, which is 4 floors of essentially art galleries, and each artist has their own space to do their exhibits. The main show runs from Thursday through Sunday, and that's where people are juried in to be a part of the exhibit. Then back at the primary hotel, they have a thing called the Showcase, and that is where artists who didn't get juried into the main show get to exhibit. And they, and there's more artists in the Showcase than there is in the main hall, or it's very similar to counts. But in total, I think there's typically around 220 artists that are there. But Showcase artists are incredible as well. I mean, a lot of times an artist chooses not to submit to be juried to the main show, and then they're like, doggone it, and they could be really huge talent, but then they say, all right, I'm going to buy a table at the Showcase. So when you go to the Showcase, you're always going to be impressed because the artists that are there, are just they're on par with the artists that are in the main exhibit. So, and if not, they're incredible up and coming artists that whose work tends to be really, really affordable, and it's amazing. I mean, every time I go there, I usually walk away with between 10 and 12 pieces of art to try to spread my money around at it, because it's fun. It's a fun show to be a patron at, to really and talk to artists, and again, it's unlike any show that you're ever going to go to, just because of the proximity to kind of hang out and talk with artists like Bob Eggleton, Greg Hildebrandt, Donato Giancoia. I mean, there's just all of the top artists in their field are always there. So if you're fans of Magic the Gathering, those sorts of things, that is the place. So I'm not following the chat, but so that is what IX is and where it's at. And if you're interested in the Infected by Art book, please support it. It's got 18 days to go. It's already met its we pretty much everything's already covered. It's printed. The main shipment is en route to the United States right now, but we kind of airship a set of books that we take just to IX every year when we debut it. So I think the artists will be getting their copies tomorrow when Todd gets there. So let me go ahead and remove that. Boris and Julie. How could I forget, Sydney? Of course. I mean, that's just it. It is the show of shows at the end of the day. I mean, the only artist that's not there that should be there is Joe Jusko, because he's in PA. And for whatever reason, he's just never exhibited there. I think he's talked to Patrick a few times about it, but he's never exhibited. And as far as I know, I don't think he's ever gone either. But it's right up his alley, of course, as far as the medium and the caliber of talent that's there. He should at least make an appearance one day. So there's, I can cross Iva off of my list as well. Boy, I'm blowing through all of this right now. Let me see. All right. So next up, what do we got? We got the schedule. I kind of already showed you the picture of, I'm going to show it again, just so you can see Wolvie Fan Rob. I should have made 2 of these so you could have seen the other picture, because the other picture was even more like threatening and scary. And I told him, can you take another one? and he did. And then it was this one. I was like, all right, I'm going to go with this one. It's the more comical one, but Wolvie Fan Rob will be my guest next Tuesday. And then I don't have anybody scheduled in between there. And I'll be honest, I'm just so burned out, and with the schedule being what it is, I'm going to probably skip that next Tuesday just because I need some time to recoup. But the following Tuesday after that, on the 8th, I will have Andy and Veronica Fish. We'll probably be previewing some of the artwork that they're bringing to Comic Art Live, which is, of course, that weekend, and talking about a few things because I've been speaking with Andy a bit about beta testing new programming and things, and he's very open to it. So I think that we'll be able to chat a little bit about the things that we've kind of outlined on changes I wanted to make to Comic Art Live that he and I were chatting about, came to agreements on certain things because he's been there for every show, typically sells out, so he's got his finger is on the pulse of what he feels would be good for Comic Art Live and CAF, and Andy's actually been around for a long time. It was funny and I shouldn't probably give it all away, but he's been around a long time. He was actually a part of the Comic Art L before I started being a member, back around 2001. So he's been an art collector for a long time, not just an artist. And I'm, outside of just talking a shop, I think that it's going to be a lot of fun talking with Andy and Veronica about their time in the hobby as art collectors as well. And then, of course, I'll have the Heritage preview, Bob McLeod on the 15th, and then the Heritage recap after that. So plenty of stuff on the program schedule, but it definitely can be filled out more. I just need some more time. And then a couple things. I would have been good. I should ask Larry to be on the show with me tonight. So the weekend after next, I will be in Baltimore. I will be one of the auctioneers along with Scott Doonbeer for the Hero auction, which is on Saturday. It's going to be 5 p.m. in one of the panel rooms there. And there's an auction prior to that. And I'm just going to find Larry's probably in the chat and he can correct me on all of this, but there is some kind of art auction at 2 o'clock that goes to 3:45, and it's in the same room that the Hero auction is booked into. The Hero auction starts at 5. The other one ends. The prior one ends at 3:45. So Larry has talked to the people who do the programming at Baltimore, and the room is actually open between that time. And so Larry's kind of said, can we have permission to do an art get together in that space during that time? So for those of you who are attending Baltimore, whether or not you attend that first auction, and he noted it as a yearbook auction, but I'm not familiar. It's my first time to Baltimore, so I don't know what the yearbook art auction is. But from 3:45 to 5 o'clock, though, the room is open. I will definitely be there hanging out with everybody. So if you want to do a meet and greet that we can guarantee is going to happen, because I can't say there's really any events planned, Friday evening or Saturday evening, like we had at Hero. The definite meetup time will be between 3:45 and 5 o'clock in that meeting room. And it says room 339 to 342. So it must be several rooms kind of joined together. But so we'll be doing that next Saturday. Then the Saturday after that, I've got Mike Rosberg on for another show. Chuck Costas will be doing that one with me. We'll be selling off, I think, a lot of that the Lovelace work. I haven't really had a chance to look it all over, but I did get a shared drive to take a look at it, and I just haven't had a chance. Then the week after that, I've got Eric Donovan on from Jeff M. Art Sales. There will be done arts pieces, commission style stuff, and he'll also be doing some drawings during the show as well. And then we've got Comic Art Live. Then 2 fun shows in December. First Saturday of December, we're going to have Dennis Cowan and Bill Sienkiewicz on together. This weekend, they're actually plotting which artworks they're going to choose for the show. And again, I've told them they'll span their career as best we can. I think it'll kind of make it fun. I'm half tempted once I see the art, if it really works like I think it might, rather than focusing on doing a strict interview for an hour and then an art sale for an hour, I think I might sprinkle in the art throughout the show, especially if we can kind of talk about their mutual work together over the length of their careers. So if they really do bring artwork that's from 25 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, and current, I think that would make for a really interesting both conversation and then tying artworks to those specific periods in time in their careers. working in comics. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope to see some of that artwork early in November, since they're, I think that, like I say, I think they're meeting this weekend or sometime really, really soon to select the artworks. And then I'll have Howard Chaykin back. And I can tell you that Howard, he's going to shake it up a little bit, since we already had him on 2 times already. He's going to do some different format sized artworks, probably 1, or maybe even 2 cover recreations. But he wanted to try to bring a few more affordable pieces, because typically he does those, what are they? I think they're 10 by 14 sketches that are typically $600 in that range. He wanted to do something slightly smaller, not half that, but somewhere in that range, and put them at a price point that, I can't say right now, but maybe like $150 to $300, something more affordable, just to kind of do something different. So he's not always doing the same thing. And I said, hey, Howard, if Howard Chaykin wants to do it, I'm game to do whatever he likes. So I can, you can never argue with Howard, but some might try. Nick Barucci would tell you can't argue with Howard. That's for sure. Tim Guerrero says, I hope I am done with Frank Miller and go to the meet. I do remember you mentioned you had something going on there, but you should definitely swing by if you can, Tim. And if not, of course, I'll be at the auction, and I'm sure we'll be hanging out after the hero auction is concluded as well. Although I know there is the Wingo Awards that a lot of people are going to go to. I haven't made any plans yet myself, but it's possible. Let's see. David Matheny says, I need to contact Splash Page and try to get a show interview with Chris Cross. I was actually texting with Mark today as well. And that's something, I'm glad you mentioned, Mark, because I should have talked about this during Comic Art Live. We are, of course, going to be doing the sketch event that we did last time, and which went over really well. And so I was talking with Mark today, trying to see if we can get any of his artists to also participate. Can't make any promises, but I know at least 1 or 2 will be adding into it. Tatiana will have some artists again. Ken Carson will, and Jiggy has gotten me his list as well. So as soon as, I was hoping to have it ready this week and debut it to you in the audience first, so that you could do your signups first, but it's going to have to wait till next Thursday. So a little 1 week later than I'd rather have it, but that's when the sign up will be. And if you remember how we did it, when you pay for you're basically paying for the opportunity to get a sketch commission character of your choice, but you won't know which artist is doing the work. And that's kind of the curveball to it. But I think most people were really happy with how things worked out. I think we had one artist that took longer than we had wanted, but it was one of the more sought after artists in the set from Jiggy's crew, and the people who got their artwork, it was like maybe 6 weeks after the show, were still very thrilled. And they were thrilled once they knew that that's who they were waiting on, to get the artwork from. So it all worked out in the end. Most people got their artwork in 2 weeks or less. Jiggy was great. He had everything in the mail to me. I remember we did that preview or show. Well, not we debuted the artwork that I was going to mail out with that. So yes, what? So anyways, yes. So we'll have the form will be ready next Thursday evening. And what I'll do is I'll put it in the chat so everybody can do it. I can tell you that there are more commission slots this time than there were before. I can't remember how many we sold the first time. I'm trying to think if it was probably around 70 positions we had last time. I think given the number of artists that are doing it this time, it'll probably be closer to 100, maybe a little bit more. So we may not sell out this time. You never know. But it will be a fun thing to do, because remember we also had then we did the Friday evening sketch event where the artists who were participating in this mystery sketch event did some of their sketches during the show. So those of you who paid for them, you got to see some of your artworks being drawn during that time, or if any of the artists had completed their sketches prior to that sketch event, they were showing them off during that event. So it was good. It was fun. I had a really good time with it. I think the reps enjoyed it. It worked out rather well, and so we're going to do it again. And I'm trying to recruit Mark. He's he's a busy guy with his comic shop and everything else, but I'm pushing him to get at least a couple of his artists to be in it this time. Michael, from the discussions we've had, and hopefully this may turn some people off, but we did choose to raise the price to $200 versus $150. just, you'll get the same, if not better quality as the pieces that were in there. It just ends up the way I structured it. The percentage goes to the show, then the balance of that goes to the artist. At the end of the day, we wanted the artist to get more money, and it was more a question of, well, how do we do that and work that out? So the price is going to change to $200 for the artwork, so from $150. But at the end of the day, what am I going to do? That's where it's at. So if that turns people off, I apologize. Hey, then we'll have to turn it back to $150. But everybody knows it was a fantastic deal. Jiggy's guys, Tatiana's artists, and Kent's all went. I think they all did more than $150 worth of work for the majority of those pieces, and so that's all. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure, because it's not like I'm working direct with an artist, and you don't have to have all these other cuts in there, and because we're taking a portion of it, small though it may be, it does keep artists money out of them. And after you take the transaction fees and all that, they still end up being, even at the $200 rate, once you take the transaction fee out and the splits, the artist is still getting less than $160 so for their piece. So it's, you know what I mean? It's like, I've never had to deal with this side of the world. I've never had to deal with being a rep in that regard. But so that's where we're at. Still a great deal. I'm glad you think so. I think so as well. And we get a lot of fun out of it. And I really did enjoy getting to hang out with the artists on Friday night, watching them do it. Everybody really had a great time. And, we're all very professional about getting those things done on time. So yeah, we'll do it again, and it will be open exclusive to you first, and then the next day, the Friday, I will send out an email to everybody on CAF. I'll probably hit up a lot of those sketch groups on Facebook, which I didn't do the last time. So people who are thinking about doing it, now that you've seen the caliber of work that's going to be done, you know what to expect, and I would expect it to be even, just as good, if not better. So one per customer. Mikhail, that's a good question. Let me think about it. I don't know. You're right. That is a really good question, because we do have more. I guess what'll depend there will be, I've gotten Jiggy's count, but I haven't gotten Ken's, and Ken is trying to get some he's trying to get some really I won't say impressive talent, because Ken's really expanded the number of artists that he's been working with, as everybody knows. Even though he doesn't act as a rep for all of them, but he does act as a facilitator on sales a lot. And he was dropping some names that he was like, I'm going to talk to this person this weekend, and this person and this person. And that was about a week and a half ago. So I haven't talked to him since then. I'll hit him up tomorrow, let him know that I need to know by say Monday afternoon who's going to be in on it, and how many sketches per artist, or per artist that are participating, are they willing to take. And I guess based on the numbers, we may be able to say that we could do slightly higher, or maybe I ask, hey, the first 2 days only buy one, but after day 2, sky's the limit. If you want to buy 2, 3 more, it's not, doesn't hurt me if you want to go ahead and do that. How many names does Aranga have? I don't know how many. Hey, Mr. Krager did 2 fantastic sketches, as I recall. What was it? You had a Sandman. Was it a Sandman? And I think it was a female character, but I can't remember whom that was. But the artwork was fantastic. And again, that just shows you why we needed to raise the price. Everybody just worked a little bit harder on those pieces because they knew it was for Comic Art Live, and it was a great fun event. And I think everybody walked away happy. So yes, that's good to see you in the chat as well. And right, Aranga was doing some. He was with Jiggy's guys. I think he was the only extra artist that participated on Friday. So we'll try to get more people to do it. It's a 2-hour event. If I could get a few more artists to participate live, we can just kind of schedule people to come in. Okay, Sandman and Zatanna. That's right. The Zatanna was killer, man. So yes, very impressive. I was jealous. I really was. At any rate, all right. So there you go. So plan on that for next Thursday. We will open up the form on CAF for you to make those purchases. And I will have some, the rules to follow as far as can we purchase more than one. We'll work it out. I look extra HD today. You know what? And I can tell you why. I always goof around. I like putting, I've got these spots to just kind of light up the back of the room so it doesn't look like I'm in a cave. And I always like to turn those lights on, but it's funny. The lights actually screw things up. If you turn like a blue light on, I kind of get a gray tint to my face. If I turn it to purple, I turn yellow. And I think those non-white lights take away from the HD caliber that the camera's got. So from now on, I might just stick to the white light because it does look 10 times better. Oh, there, Peter Rowe says that he was the lucky winner of the Sandman. And Peter, I owe you a photograph of some art and an email. I do apologize. I trust me, I haven't forgotten about that Militaria art that we talked about when I had you on the show. I will definitely do my best to get something to you in the next few days. It's always been something I've been thinking about. So yeah, awesome. I'm glad that Jason's going to do some more as well. So cool. Where are we going to go from there? I already covered. Yeah, that covers everything as far as Comic Art Live goes, as far as that show goes. But I'll tell you, I have not put a whole lot of focus on the panels yet. I do have 3 lined up out of the usual dozen that I know I need to have. So I've really got to get on the phone and start talking. I haven't even talked to Felix. Felix always gets me 1 or 2 panels. Haven't talked to him at all. Everything's just been so hectic since the summer, but I'm going to get on the phone and try to iron those things out. If anybody knows of any artists that might like to just hang out and chat, obviously that would make my life a little bit easier. Please suggest some people who might be available that weekend. If we can fit them into the schedule, and trust me, we have plenty of openings. I'd love to be able to get as many creators as we can on this show. And I think the time slots we've always done are 2 to 7 on Saturday. So that's 6 slots. And then we also have the noon to 6 on Sunday. And as we always do, Anthony is always the first slot on Sunday. And I can confirm, that's why I was talking to Mark today, that Paulo Rivera will be doing the 1 p.m. slot on Sunday as well. He will be doing his standard commission headshots that he does, the painted pieces, and can't promise that he's going to do a couple bigger pieces, but I can continue to suggest that he does. So we'll see. But those 2 are my firm commitments, as they always are. And I know that I've got 1 committed on Sunday. I did actually reach out to Bob Layton, and he was amicable. But unfortunately, Bob is going to be out of the country from November until, I think he said March. So he said, let's try to work something out for the May 2023 show. So I'll be speaking, speak with him probably before he leaves and try to commit him to it, because I'd love, Bob's a great guy. He tells lots of good stories, and I've reached out to, I can tell you, I reached out to Jim Shooter as well through Ken from 4C to try to have him be a part of Comic Art Live as well. So if we get lucky, we'll have him on Comic Art Live. If not, I'll try to get him in on a Tuesday interview where we're going to have 2 hours with him, which would be even better than just 1 hour, 1 hour panel. Anthony, you're giving me tips. What do I get? $1.99. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. And you know what? I can buy a Starbucks or a large Coke with that, which I always need. I definitely do. And that was your second one today. So now I can buy 2. Yes, I'd love to hear from you. I told you I had that great dinner with Ken and Jim about 6 months ago. He's absolutely amazing, and he would be a great guest to have, whether we get him for an hour or 2 hours. The Legal Defense Fund. I may need one, guys. You never know. You just never know. Let's hope not, right? Let's hope not. So yes. 3 likes to 62. The year Marvel Thor first appeared. Thank you for that, Nick. Yes, come on, guys. We're here. We got 87 plus people watching here right now. It's kind of going up and down on the count. Hit the thumbs up for me, and that way we'll get people to notice us while we're live. So hey, I am ready to show off the latest dramatic reading, and hey, if he's going to keep making them, I'm not going to stop him. I wish I need the time, but this one's just going to blow you away. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to play it and we can talk about it when it's over, because if any of you are thinking of doing a dramatic reading, the bar has been raised substantially. If I'm going to do it, I mean, I'm going to have to like pull together the crew here, and we're going to have to do a big production, because I'm going to have to do oh, you got some more in you. All right, well, here, let's go ahead and play the dramatic reading, our latest one here, and here we go. Be ready. Hope you're sitting down.
This is a 2-page short story. It is called The Day After Doomsday from Weird War number 40. It was drawn by Howard Chaykin. It was inked by Bill Drought, and it was written by Len Wayne. This is a story that the concept itself is actually what drew me to it. It's something that I kind of sat on buying for a long time, but I would ultimately keep thinking about the concept. It would just kind of pop in my head. I just like it. It's simple. It kind of illustrates something about us as people and our psychology, and it's framed around the last man on Earth, the day after an apocalyptic doomsday event. And in order to just kind of show you what it's like, I am going to do a dramatic reading of these 2 pages. Thank you. Living is difficult in a land where death holds court, but the last man on Earth knew how to make the best of an unpleasant situation. He had walked the shattered ruins for days, and the panorama before him remained unchanged. Nothing but rubble stretching off to the sun. Another food can? Something for my evening meal? Seems the fates aren't quite through having their fun with me. They're trying to keep me alive. Living wouldn't be so bad, though, if it wasn't for the memories. If I didn't keep thinking how it used to be. If I didn't keep remembering the things I never got a chance to do. Maybe I'll just throw the can away and end it, huh? Somebody, tell me I'm seeing things. I've just stumbled across a miracle. With a quiet kind of reverence, the last man on Earth settled himself into the ruins to ponder his discovery. A plate glass window without a scratch or a crack? It's absolutely flawless. Somehow it escaped the Holocaust. Lord, the things that great glass eye must have seen, the buildings, the people rushing past, the pulse beat of the city. How many dramas have unfolded before their transparent backdrop? But they're part of the past. Now, only the window remains. What a strange monument to an entire way of life. Guess I haven't got time for those memories anymore. The last man on Earth wandered down the ruptured street, and the dying sound of the falling glass faded into silence behind him.
I'm telling you, the production value has gone up and up and up. Wonderful narration again, Adam. I mean, I'm blown away, man. I've got to do one. I just don't know what I'm going to get to, but I'm going to try. I showed it to Maureen and Gwen, and they love it. So I think we can work something out where we get the whole family involved. I think that'll be fun. I've just got to find I've got to find the right art. That's for sure. But yes, lots of Makai. You can't prefer cat actors, but the bar has been raised. Exactly, an Academy winner. See, this is so much fun. I used 2 sound effects to level up. Oh man, you're killing me with these. I love it. I absolutely love it. As you know, I've gotten the work we've done on Dueling Dealers with the memes, and it has just been like the most fun I've had. So I know that the joy of putting these things together, and the fact that you've come up with this whole new genre of things that we're showing on the channel. Just and they've all been yours so far. But hey, I was in the apocalypse once. The only can I could find was a can of whoop ass, and I don't even remember. You know what? I got that a long time ago, and I just can't throw this can away. I can't even imagine what's inside of it anymore. It is dated September 2000. I think it's probably an old can of Campbell's soup, but in the Holocaust, anything is edible. So that is what I would have if I needed it. You just had beans. Hulk's favorite food, right? That's how it goes. Don't open it, says Scott. No, I won't open it. A new best of category, says Mikhail. You're absolutely right, Mikhail. That is true. That is true. We should think about those kinds of things, right? I mean, we had a special award for Marcus last year with the top comments. I mean, we should think about some of the best contributions to the channel, things that just made us smile, made us happy, made the hobby a little bit more fun for all of us. I think that's a possible award. We should think about that. I mean, there's at the end of the day, we're all just trying to have a good time here together, right? And we certainly have for as long as we've been doing these. 5 likes to 70. Well, we've at least passed the first Thor, so that's good. But again, thank you for that one, Adam. Let me just keep things kind of rolling. Best breaking of the fourth wall. Yes, but there's work to be done. I think we can. Man, I started thinking about it. I mean, imagine somebody with some Star Wars art. Come on, somebody out there has some Star Wars art, and they want to enact whatever's on that page. Get their friends together. Ron Lim, my goodness. I mean, you guys could put together probably one of the coolest readings possible. Just put your thinking caps on and let's see what we can come up with. Adam, you got the ball rolling. You got it started. You've given us a fantastic thing to build off of. So, can't thank you more than I'm just blown away. And I bet you, Maureen and Gwen did not see that, so I'll make sure that I show that to them when the show is over. Stop king shaming Jeff and Ron. I was going to mention Jeff too, because he's in the Star Wars a bit, right? So they gotta. Why not focus on the things that you love? If I'm going to do an X-Men thing, well, I've got Magneto back there, right? I could do a Thor. And I've got costumes galore, but I think if I'm going to do one, I'm going to have to come up with something new, something you haven't seen before. And Maureen saw it, so she was watching. All right, very good. All right. Oh, Ron says he doesn't own any Star Wars pages. I have one cover recreation. I do have all the costumes, though. Well, then you can be an actor in one of the reenactments and the readings, Ron. And and see, look at Jeff has all art, no armor. Ron has all armor, no art. I mean, I sense a partnership, I think, brewing here. I know you guys aren't anywhere near each other, but Jeff, you could read it and Ron could film it. You can work it out. You can work it out. Think about it. Exactly. And we're going to put our thinking caps on over here. I haven't looked at my art in a while. I should break out the portfolios and select a few pages of my own to ponder how we can do them. So, yes, you do, Anthony. Spooky Twin and Poison Oak costumes. We've all been trying to forget the Poison Oak costume, actually, but no one seems to be able to erase it from their memories. All right. Well, speaking of let's talk about my heritage picks for the week. And let's see, where were those? I've got different tabs floating around here. Let me move this one, stop that one, share a different one. Come on. These things never work as fast as you want them to. All right. These my heritage picks were pretty. I just went through everything pretty quickly, so it's all good art. I think everybody will enjoy them. If you've already seen the cap update page on the site, then you know which pieces I picked. Or if you saw the email today, you probably might have clicked through some of these. I thought they were all solid. Let's see. Let me switch it to where it's larger here. Or actually, you can do like that. Why not? Something a little different. So picks for this week, I've got a awesome John Byrne, Joe Sinnott FF212 page. First, it's got Galactus on it. It's got a scroll, kind of a mechanical scroll. I don't remember this story. I mean, I know I read all these FF stories back in the day. This is from issue 212. But, you get Byrne and Sinnott, great team. And it's a really nice page. And, Skrulls wanting to take over the world. As always, the Skrull Empire will control one more world. And neither you nor your rapidly dying compatriots will lift a hand against us. Yeah, I can do dramatic readings too, but yeah, I like this page, and especially that first panel where you get Galactus. You got Herbie in there too. I didn't even notice that before. I don't know where Sue is, but you got everybody else. So nice first page there. Then we were speaking of Howard Chaykin. Get that thing off of there. This is a page from The Shadow, a DPS from early in the book. It's from issue 4. I love Howard's work but definitely during this period, right? I mean, So much subtle stuff going on in this thing, from the machinery behind them to the work like in her blouse. I mean, look at this. This is just a fantastic artwork all around. And then, even this stuff over here, I mean, it looks like the top of a casino. I mean, I don't know the story since I haven't read it, but great storytelling, cinematic as only Howard Chaykin can do. And hey, we just saw the Howard Chaykin reading. So, I mean, he's just a master of pulling in. I mean, he goes with the close up here, the skyline shots. The dialogue doesn't bother me being layered over all that. And then you get just the woman's legs and the crumpled body, blood and judgment conclusion. So really, I mean, it's a great page. I mean, Howard, he's simply amazing. And I don't own anything by Howard yet. So that's one thing I do need to correct. And I hate to do this, but I keep picking George Tuska. All the time I always say I've had a hard time finding Tuska art that I like. And it seems like the last 4 Heritage Weekly auctions, there's just damn good Tuska art in there. And this is with Pablo Marcos inks. It's from Avengers 163. I don't know what's going on with Iron Man here. He's punching out Herc. Black Widow's unhappy with him. She's shooting at him. He shoots at her. I mean, all around, I can't. Who knows what's going on here? But again, it's a great Tuska page. There is a thigh gap there. I guess I don't know if the chat has seen that, but I didn't notice it until now. But great page, and again, one that I should be bidding on because I do need to get Tuska into my collection. And then I wanted to show this one because this is an example of Dennis Cowan and Bill Sienkiewicz working together, and it's it's not just the amazing Sienkiewicz inks in here. I mean, Dennis is kind of that same school that Chaykin's from. I mean, just wonderful storytelling here. The way the panels are angled up here with the word blocks of text. I mean, the whole page is just laid out phenomenally. If this was on CAF, I'd easily pick this as one of my picks for the week. Just really well done. Look at this. Just great details in all these. Even this tiny panel there, just lovely. And and again, Sienkiewicz complements Cowan so well. I mean, you see Cowan's pencils in this piece easily, and then you get Bill's inking on it, and it just accentuates it in a way that, I mean, these guys work so well together, as bloody as that is, but that's what makes it good. So there you have that. This is from Dr. 02. So I know nothing about it. It's something from Marvel from 1988. So again, this would be, hopefully this is the kind of stuff we're going to see when we get them on the show together. And then I picked this Keith Giffen, Al Milgrom piece from Amazing Adventures. Just a nice, splash page. Probably from the Al Milgrom. Al Milgrom has given Heritage a lot of their work. That's why we see so much Al Milgrom work in there right now. But they're just crammed with detail. I love the border thing going on here. Very Giorgio Camolo before Camolo, right? I mean, but really well done. And you guys, I'm never gonna if you guys are in Baltimore, talk to Jim McLaughlin why he calls him Cohen. It's not my fault. He's the one who told me it was Cohen over and over again, even when I asked. So I cannot win. I'll never. You guys will never let me forget it. But I like this page a lot. And again, Amazing Adventures 38, just well done. All right, and lots of heroes on there, heroic images, I guess I should say. Then we got a Steve Ditko. This is from Ace Comics, probably a story that probably nobody's read, but it's not inked by Ditko. It's inked by somebody named Rick Altergott. But again, Ditko pages. This one's probably should go under $1,000, right? So if you want to get a piece by Steve Ditko, I think it's got enough of the Steve Ditko isms in here as far as body postures, faces, and all that. So decent page there that should be somewhat affordable. Then what do we got next? Oh, I picked this one. I mean, a 1978 2000 AD Judge Dredd page by Ian Gibson. I mean, we don't see too many 2000 AD pages hardly ever, whether it's on eBay or on Heritage, or heck, even with original art dealers that are out there. So these are rare. Even, let's see, Brit Comics Art. No, we don't see anything over on Melchior's site. But what's the other one? Why am I drawing a blank? The other British guy that I work with, he regularly has art droids. He typically has at least a few 2000 AD pages there. I think he even has some pieces from Gibson. I haven't been on his site probably in 3 or 4 months. But if you're a big 2000 AD fan, Art Droids is definitely the place to check out. Um, Rufus Dayglow is the name of the guy who runs that. He's also an artist, pretty decent as well. I think he'll typically have a few pieces by Weston and Gibbons, and but he primarily focuses on 2000 AD stuff when he can. So this is an end page too, so very nice. Can't imagine what it's going to go for, but I should try to track it or something. Do they have that on here? Oh yeah, track item. It's going to make me log in, of course. All right, well, so now I've logged in, I can track that item. All right, so what do I got next? Jose Delbo, Dave Hunt, Wonder Woman 279. I mean, I had to try to swing things around a little bit to DC. I actually like this page because of all these fine lines on the spotlights, tripwire, more spotlights there. Just something about the way this page was laid out. You get the barbed wire. So all these thin lines are on here making up the page. I'm kind of curious how they colored it, but so I love those first 2 rows of panels just because of the thin line work on this thing. And then I like that it just broke up the end panel with her crashing through glass. It just kind of contrasts all the fine line work that was up there done here, but keeping the fine line in the glass. And just a really nice piece. And of course, Delbo's awesome. And then again, you get Dave Hunt inks as well. There is that Dave Hunt biography out there written by Lee Banaka that I haven't gotten yet, but anybody who's interested in learning more about Dave Hunt should look it up. I'm sure it's available on Amazon. Then what we got here? We got Phil Jimenez, Andy Lanning, a Planetary and Authority page. 2 fantastic books, of course. In this one, you got Midnighter in there. Can't remember all the character names now that I'm looking through it. But nicely done. I love Jimenez's work. I mean, he's always been awesome. Super nice guy. And I do actually own a few pieces by Phil. So I thought this was worth featuring just because of the title being between, a mashup of Planetary and Authority. And I have that page in here twice. And so last but not least, this Hal Forrest, Reynold Brown, Tailspin Tommy Daily. I just wanted to try to at least fit a strip in at least every time I do one of these. So I just thought this one was nice. I think it's from the mid to late 1930s. And, just really, really well done. I mean, looking at the inking that was done here, I mean, I like it. It's kind of woodcutty feel. And I it's just really, really nice. Let's see, was there a stamp on there? That doesn't have a date on it. Oh, there we go, 36. Okay. So, yeah, there you go. Hal Forrest and what was the other gentleman's name? Reynold Brown. So, there you go. Very good. That's my heritage picks for the week. I might have missed one. I feel like I think I've only did 9 yet, but I've talked long enough. Number 1 Marvel fan. What'd you say? No Bob Layton or Adi Granat pieces in this one though. Been a kick. You've been on a kick for them lately. Yeah. There's been a fair number of Bob Layton ink pieces for sure. Let's see what's Rick saying. Bought a 2000 AD page from Art Droids this year. Rufus was great to work with. Yeah, Rufus is a really nice guy. I've tried to get him on the show because he's in the UK. We've not been able to work out getting him. Working out of time. I'd probably have to do a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon interview with him because of the time differences. But I'd love to get him on. I've never met him in person, but I've worked with him for about probably 10 or 11 years, and and any correspondence I've had with him has just been really nice. And again, he's the one if you're looking for 2000 AD artwork to check out the Art Droids website. And I think it's artdroids.co.uk is the domain name. So definitely worth checking out. Bob Layton is on the EXP show tomorrow. Well, we're going to find out in a second what may or may not be on the EXP show tomorrow, because we've got the EXP preview coming up right now, and that, of course, is Nick Barucci's show. Love everything that Nick does. Obviously, he's one of the most influential guys on the internet. Not just for all the work he does at Dynamite, but the work that he does in our hobby, promoting the arts and keeping everybody happy and keeping a positive attitude out there, like so many of all of us do. Keep everybody focused on the good things that this hobby has brought for us and for the creators. So 7 p.m. tomorrow, every Friday, 7 to 8 is the original art experience on the EXP channel. And so here is your preview for the artwork that Nick will have available for sale tomorrow.
Everybody, It is going to be a really exciting original art experience this Friday, October 21st. Amy is like whispering the date so that I don't screw it up, and now she's shaking her head smiling so that I don't screw it up. So this Friday, October 21st, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we are really going to have fun. I mean, look, we always have fun. We talk art, we have fun. Sometimes we sell, sometimes we don't, but the community comes together. So, I'm telling you how exciting it's going to be. Maybe I should get to the art. So, and of course, Amy gives me that look. All right. So, we're going to have Vampirella, Unholy, Amazing Spider-Man 316 homage cover by Jamie Biggs homaging Todd McFarlane. We are going to have Villains United page. This features, Black Adam. How do you like that, Crayon Apple? Plus Catman, Deadshot, so many other characters. This is gorgeous. This is a recreation by Bob Layton of Superman vs. Spider-Man. That's going to be cool. We have our John Romita Jr. Captain America page that we love. We have Scar by Ron Garney. We have Jim Starlin Savage Hulk. Oop, I'm going too fast. We have another Captain America page. I love this page. I really love this page by John Romita Jr. Then we have a fantastic Ghost Rider page. We also have this Iron Man commission as we're getting ready for Armor Wars by Bob Layton. We have a Sheena cover, which is going to be fantastic. We have a Scar Splash by Ron Garney as well. And last but not least, we have Year of the Villain, Black Adam, John Romita Jr. cover. Now, and Klaus Janson inks. John's not doing any more DC work. He's back at Marvel, and I'm pretty sure that he is going to continue working for Marvel. He's doing Amazing Spider-Man, so many cool covers. It's just potentially one of your last chances to get any DC artwork from John. So, Friday, October 21st, as the Black Adam movie opens up, which was what made it a little bit more exciting. You know, this is why we had the cover. This is why Amy's telling me hurry up. You guys get it. I don't need to just keep talking just because I'm Italian, moving my hands. So Friday, October 21st, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hit that thumbs up and see you then.
There you go. Tomorrow night, 7 to 8 o'clock. I will even tune in if I can. I mean, I need to do things where I'm actually relaxing and watching somebody else work. I think that's so that might be a lot of fun for me tomorrow. But again, Nick's show, you can, it's easy to find on YouTube or on Facebook. You just plug in the EXP and you can look it up. And actually, YouTube is finally making it easier for you to actually promote your channel names. Where you, I forget what they call them, but you can actually have a name that has like Comic Art Live in it in the URL, which they didn't make easy to find anymore. But I know that I think if you go on to any of our videos that you find on YouTube and you go down to where our name of the channel is, it actually links to something that says Comic Art Live in it. So, hey, Jiggy, I owe you a reply, my friend. So I do apologize if you've been following me. I've had kind of a busy week, but I will reply to you this evening. I do should have taken care of emailing you sooner. You've emailed me twice without me replying. Hit the meat and enjoy the show. Yes, exactly. I actually do intend to have a beer after everything's over. YouTube handles. Thank you, Michael Callahan. Yes, that is exactly what they're called, YouTube handles. But it just makes it easier to share links, because before that, it was just all gobbledygook and not very easy at all. So I never used it. But now handles make it so much easier, and they've just updated all the links across the entire site with them, which is nice. So before we get to the cap update, there was an extra one video in here that I got, and I forgot to show it last week, but I got it from Anthony. It was like something that they filmed at New York Comic-Con, and just fun. Maybe you actually were there and saw them film it. I have no idea, but it's got John and Mike Berkey in it, along with Sharon and Anthony. So 1 minute for your viewing pleasure of watching these guys hang out, and gal, of course. And I wasn't there. I'm sure it might have been a lot more fun if I could have played a part in this this little bit. But here, just enjoy this, and we'll be right back.
All right, man. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, let's go down the line and keep doing catchphrases.
Why did they lose?
Yeah.
Rolling.
I like big art and I cannot lie.
So claimy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I thought you had a catchphrase.
Curate de butts.
So hot right now.
I'm the Batman.
Spider-Man rules.
It's a doozy. Oh no, that's not mine. That's his.
Yeah.
Okay, just go on.
Thigh gap.
Sold is my favorite 4-letter word.
I have no idea what I'm doing here.
I like that.
One more.
Hand.
Sorry.
Bricks. Bricks.
What's your best price, Anthony?
I don't know what.
Haunches.
Yeah, what's up?
I can't think of anything.
Homage.
Why? What's the score? What's the score?
One more.
Let's see, what else?
Copic. Coptic.
Coptic markers and
Coptic.
Thybird.
Oh, you missed it. You missed a 54-yarder to win it.
Who else?
You missed how many kicks?
Yeah, I guess.
missed
You want to do a kick line on the way out?
No.
All right, let's kick us out.
Mike does not participate in kick lines. Yeah, exactly. Cake, diaper bombs. Yeah, there were many harpies. Harpies. I even forgot about harpies. Birth pages. Oh my gosh. Cake break. Yeah, there's plenty of them. We've got so many hashtags. Thanks to Dueling Dealers. We should start trademarking some of that stuff, right? But yeah, no, I wish I could have been there. That would have been a lot of fun. And at least we got to get together at San Diego Comic-Con, and there's always going to be more cons. Bill again, right? Exactly. Who could might be a dog? If anybody ever know, because I don't remember this. Just to mention the T. Gleason, and I'll highlight it. Dawn, right? Exactly. Everybody remembers that. That was it was a piece of John Romita Senior artwork that it said to Doug, but it was written in a way that looked like it said to Dong. I don't know who bought that artwork, but if you're out there and you're even mildly interested in selling it, I want to buy it, because that was one of those early funny moments that where I think we were trying to make the show funny. We were trying to move it. We're moving from that claim feel to something that we thought was more entertaining. Really. But that one piece has stuck in my. I've had it. I really got to dig back, and maybe I don't even remember what episode that was. It was probably like episode 5 or 6, really early on. But whoever bought it, if you're ever interested in selling it, please let me know, because I would like to buy it back and just put it on the wall. I just think that was one of the one of the early things in the show that made me really proud and happy. And you look back on moments like those and just say you want to have a piece of history. And that to me is just like Bill Lash, right, Marcus? And you own that one. You want to have some of those things. But yes, you're right. The Harpies was one of those other ones too. We've tried to figure out how to do a Harpy meme, and we just can't make it work right. How do you get a green, female-looking, feathered creature into our editing program? It just hasn't worked yet, but we've pondered it. If we ever can work it out, we will definitely do it. But if anybody knows who bought that piece of artwork, track them down. Let them know that I want to buy it back. So I'll make it worth their while. I really will. Because other than the Bill Lash page, that's the thing I want the most. So all right, let's go ahead and do the. We can move into the CAF update already. We need a full-size Harpy. Well, exactly. We sort of had something worked out, but visually it never. We did a few like sketch tuts with it, and it just didn't look good enough. It didn't look good enough for the show. We needed to be better, and trying to make it green, all that it didn't work. Hey, all right. Thank you. I will buy 2 packs of 12 packs of Coke. This, shop at Publix. Everything there is like buy one, get one free, or buy 2, get one free. So there's always deals to be had on packs of Coke. So thank you, number one Marvel fan, for that. I appreciate it. And I saw Anthony. Anthony's he wants me to have a lot of coffee and a lot of soft drinks. So that's I'm all for it, Anthony. Thank you so much. Why don't you do that during the Dueling Dealers? It's like tipping us while we're gone. Anyway, let's get this CAF update rolling. I see Mr. Snork is in the green room already. So let's see here. The dealers had an incredible, a very incredible week, and not too often do we see the dealers cross over 400,000, and they did that the week before, 437,000. But this past week they hit $542,000 in sales. So, and that's pretty rare. I think that might only be the second time this year. And again, that's only the ones we track. So in other words, my clients, the sites that we host, can't track dealer sales for people we do not work with. But these are all confirmed sales. So let me go ahead and play the video that will show you the top 6 sales by original art dealers from last week. And that's the art dealers slugging Heritage Auctions and eBay right in the kisser. 542,000 from dealers last week. This first one is by Joe Giella, inking Mike Sikowski. It's the cover to JLA 47, sold by Ramita Man for the asking price of $75,000. No longer will you see that behind him during the show. This is Ryan Otley, complete issue to Invincible 110, sold for $65,000 by Felix Comic Art. Then we've got this Teen Titans 37 cover by the amazing Nick Cardy. Fantastic image on this one. This one was sold by Anthony, and the asking price on this one was $35,000. And here we have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles page from issue 3. It's page 20 by Eastman, of course. Asking price on this one from panel page was $30,000. I mean, pages like that do not come up too often. That one was amazing. We've got a Dark Days, the casting issue, sold by Albert Moy, Jim Lee Scott Williams, of course. Asking price was $30,000 on this. And one last piece. This one was sold by Will. This is by Dan Jurgens. It's sold for $29,000. It's from Justice League of America 69. Second Doomsday, Death of Superman storyline from 1992. So, yeah, pretty decent amount of stuff. High price stuff. Jim Lee, still hot, $30,000, even on an off-title book there. But when I didn't read, I should have told you guys, top sales for dealers during the week. Albert won the day. 49 sales, $173,000 in sales. What does he do with all his money? I just don't know. But then Ramita Man was next, 29 sales, $137,000 in sales. Anthony was third, 86 sales, $108,000. Anthony always wins in volume every single time. Then Felix next, 16 sales, just under 70,000. And panel page, bringing up the rear of the people who have made or sold more than 10,000, and he sold $42,000. Everybody after that was under 10,000 totals in sales. So that's pretty incredible. Five dealers made up 3, 4, 5. Shoot, they made up like $510,000 of the overall sales. So everybody else only made $32,000. So those 5 dealers were rocking and rolling last week. Wow, man. Some people are going to have great Christmases. I have a feeling with that. Anthony, you're giving me. Hey, calm it down, my friend. Calm it down. Your people are going to start thinking you're paying for these to get mentioned in here. We don't want that. So anyway, yes, the madness. The price on that Jurgens page is mind blowing. I completely agree, Michael McIsaac. But what am I going to remember? These are asking prices. I mean, for those of you who aren't familiar, that the only reason I can track this data is because the dealers put the art for sale on their site. It's like basically an option for sale, on hold, or sold. So when it's for sale, it gets populated into CAF's for sale database, and it's basically merged into our data there. Now, when the dealer marks that piece as sold over on their site, we take the data, take that artwork out of our live inventory. And we would do that if it was deleted, turned off, or anything as well, we would take it out. But when it's marked as sold by the dealer, we take it out and put it into the market data. And the thing is, we don't know what the sold price actually was. I mean, there could be a deal could have been made. Some of those could be cash trade. Maybe instead of $30,000, it actually sold for $29,000. That, we can only tell you what the asking price of the artwork was when it sold. So, yeah, the numbers aren't always going to be accurate, but at the end of the day, they're going to be accurate for what they were listed at. It's the same thing as if you were looking at Lee Banaka's comic art ads. You know what it was listed for sale. You may not know what it actually sold for. So that's what that data represents. So if you haven't heard me say that, now you have. Plug. Yeah. You just keep sending me $1.99, Anthony, and I'll keep mentioning your name. Wes says he predicts that Berkey will break $1 million next week. You never know. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to the auction house report. And of course, the auction house has had Heritage had 2 signature auctions in the 2 weeks prior to that, and they broke $2 million both times for those. So things are kind of back to earth with the auction houses. Instead of $2.2 million, it's $366,000 for eBay during the week, and for Heritage only their weekly auction. So still pretty decent numbers for the pair of them. So let me go ahead and show the top 6. Well, top 3 from eBay, top 3 from Heritage, and here we go. So again, the overall sales $366,115. First up is a Mike Sikowski piece again, Brave and the Bold, number 29 page. They had it as an asking price $6,950. It actually sold for $3,715 from a make offer. Make those offers when those options are available. Sellers will sell to you for less. Another one, Bud Root, Cave Woman Rising, number 1 cover, asking price $5,499, sold for $4,200 from a make offer. And finally, this was a complete 32-page book by Jack Sparling. It's from Outer Limits 5, published by Dell in 1964. All those pages still sold for $3,500, so $100 a page. We talked about this a bit last week. This was that big, super duper surprise, but I love this artwork by Jaime Hernandez from Love and Rockets 3, page 9. This one went for $22,800 on Heritage, and honestly, I think it was worth every penny. Next up, Sal Buscema, Bob McLeod, Incredible Hulk 228 page. This one sold for $9,000. Love this one too. And finally, Dale Keown, Mark Farmer, Incredible Hulk 381 page, sold for $6,600. Very nicely done. But the Hernandez Love and Rockets page was, that thing was stunning, and that's why I featured it as my as a pick that week. I knew it was going to go high. I didn't think it was going to go $22,000 high, but again, not surprising. Something from that early in the run, absolutely. That's if you're a Love and Rockets fan, that would be a page that you could say, I don't need to own another one. That is it. I am done. So hey, Dan Loss, nice to see you. Yes, Dale rules. Glenn Crane bought the Bud Root. I actually wasn't on CAF too much today, so I didn't get to see that. But awesome. Yeah, Glenn's got. He's just got one of my favorite collections on CAF. There's so many good guys out there with collections, but that one is tops. Stanley, is Anthony going to Baltimore? Yes, he is. He didn't answer it himself, but Anthony is going to be at Baltimore. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at the lineup at all of which dealers are going, but I'm sure there will be others. I can't tell you who, but I should check that out so I know who I've got to run around and say hi to while I'm there. And just so everybody else, as far as Baltimore goes, I still haven't made my flight arrangement, but I did look and see what's there. I'm going to be getting in late-ish in the afternoon on Friday. I think I get in around 4. So if I can make it into the hall on Friday, it's going to be late. So I know I'm going to be hanging out with Nick Friday evening, and I'll be at the show all day Saturday. And my flight on Sunday is probably around 2 p.m. So I don't know if I'll really be at the show on Sunday too much. So it's really all day Saturday, Friday evening. Can't say I'll be able to hang out with anybody on Sunday, but so if you're going to Baltimore, Albert's going to be there. Alex Johnson said, so cool. I figured there's got to be others that are going to be there. It's so close to New York. There's got to be a few other dealers that are going to make the trip. And as Anthony said, he's going to have his top inventory there. You owe me another $1.99, Anthony. All right, let's see. Let me get my good friend Chris Snorick in here. Let me switch a couple things around here. And here he is. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, man. I'm having funny hair day over here. I don't know. What do you think of my shirt?
I like it. A little schoolhouse rock for everybody.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Man, but Wolfie fan's got one hell of a beard.
He does. He's got me beat, hands down. He's also got a crazy amount of hair, so.
I know. Look at that. There he is again. Look at that. Holy mackerel.
You guys could have a hair off.
Well, he's like an amalgamation of you and I. We should find a program that kind of.
He's like a composite Superman.
That's right. So so we need to find it. We'll find a program that'll kind of merge us, and we'll see what that looks like, and we'll compare it to him. But I wish I would have grabbed his other. He looked so imposing. He kind of had it like like he maybe took a selfie but was holding it like around his waist, and he just looked like like Hagrid or something from
Had
but
a
a
dagger
mean
between his teeth.
Hagrid, that would rip your head off. And I asked him for something that didn't look so scary, and that was the one he sent me. Well, it's nice to have you on here. We had those couple weeks off. We're going to have a couple weeks off again. I have to tell you. Well, that's why I wanted to talk to you after the show with part 2.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the work that we picked out here. I think I think we did a pretty decent job. I think I got to start working a little bit harder though. I have to tell you, I have to spend a little bit more time looking at art during the week, because like this week I didn't get to look at stuff until today.
Ooh.
So I felt that was really pushing it for me. But
this was a fun week. I actually had like 13 picks, 13 or 14 picks, and went down to 11, and then had a really hard time getting to 10.
Well, that's good. That's you. Hey, you know what? Sometimes if you have to pick 11, I'm not going to hold it against you, and I don't think the audience will either. All right, let me see here. Let me get the screen shared, and over here and over there, and yeah, that's the one. Okay, here. Well, I don't like this over there. Here we go. That's better.
There we go.
All right. Let me get my thing highlighted here. Sorry, I'm a little bit disorganized here on this.
That's
one.
all right.
So
Patrick,
Patrick,
one of my favorite combos on JLA from when it was actually JLA. Dick Dillon and Dick Giordano. I love these old, I guess like late Silver Age, early Bronze Age pages from Justice League. They still have the like the chapter headings, and they use these.
Chris is frozen. Right? Does everybody see that?
Oh, am I back?
You're back.
Oh, whew, that was a close one. Anyway, sorry. I basically picked this. I mean, not only because it's a killer page, but I love that Green Lantern is actually fighting with a whisk broom in that panel.
Where's this dustpan?
Yeah, he's really giving him the business with the whisk broom.
See, I see pages like this, and it's why I don't understand DC. It just never made sense to me. Kind of got that's like Plastic Man, right? In a little swing there or something.
It's Elongated Man.
Elongated Man. See, what do I know?
Similar power set, except Elongated Man can't become like things. He literally just stretches, kind of like Mr. Fantastic.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, and he's one of DC's preeminent detectives. So he's got a sharp intellect on Elongated Man.
Time to clean up, says NSNR. Is that what? That's what it should be called. All right, well, very good pick. And collector Patrick R. We get the like on that one, and check out this next one by Danny. Magic Man and Demon Bear. Wow.
So obviously, killer use of negative space here. I mean, this is just so awesome with her use of like graphic shapes. Essentially, Magic could almost be a cutout. Right. I mean, that could be made up of like little cutouts that she made. That's how graphic it is, which is so cool. Awesome use of shape. And then a really cool contrast stylistically between the kind of like trippy, like frilly looking Demon Bear on the right there. So kind of a nod to Sienkiewicz, but at the same time, like still clearly Danny.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. I love Danny's work. And it's gorgeous. Kyle did a good job. Was this a commission piece?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he didn't write any information about it, but yeah, no, it's gorgeous. I mean, I love the use of negative space in this thing. Just where you're using the hair kind of define that. I mean, this is really, really nice.
Yeah, it's got kind of a Sin City vibe.
I was going to say the same thing, but clean. Very clean.
Her face, right? Definitely, yeah. But those, like the marks on her belt, the marks on her lips. I mean, that's very like Miller-esque.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Danny never disappoints us, Michael.
I've seen some really killer commissions from her. Khalil has an amazing one.
That's very true. Khalil, yeah. Did we feature? Maybe I don't know if we.
I think so.
Okay, you think we? All right, then if you say it, then it's true. All right, well, fantastic pick with that one, and a fair number of comments on there. Everybody, we link these in the text-based article for this that's linked at the YouTube page. So anybody can go look at these as well. Put your likes on there. Leave some comments after the show. It's always a good thing. That's why we try to feature as many diverse pieces as we can here on the show. So this is Kal-El Returns #1 cover in Matthew P's calf gallery.
I picked this for a couple reasons. One, because I'm really in love with Dan Mora lately. He's just, I mean, he's a DC artist for the most part, but I just love his style. I mean, I feel like he's kind of I don't know, there's a Jim Lee influence for sure, but it's still, he's doing his own thing. I really like the dry brush that he took to Soup's costume here. And interestingly too, the other reason I picked this is because you can see process-wise, what was interesting is DC actually chose to digitally like flip this image. So if you scroll down, he actually posted a published version.
Huh.
So they inverted it, and in the process, like he had to. So
right.
It's almost like that. I guess that cover becomes, apocryphal. The art becomes apocryphal, but still cool.
Huh. I didn't look at the color piece when you sent this. That's interesting. Huh. But I like the dry brush as well. I mean, I love that that's there, and then the ink lines over it. It just adds a really interesting texture and depth to the musculature on Superman. It's really well done, and I mean that's something that I think is common out there. With other artists.
You don't normally see somebody try to make outside of like film adaptations, you don't normally see somebody try to add texture to the costume, to his bodysuit, and it does add a little texture. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like it. Well, no, it's a great pick. So Matthew should be super pleased to have that in their calf gallery. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that again. That's interesting how they flip the background like that.
Yeah, and check out, if you haven't, I mean, check out Dan Mora. He's incredible.
Yeah, I should, let me just go ahead and I'll open up a new tab so I can do that after the show. Put that over here. So there's that. All right. Next up, a X-Men page, Alan Davis, Mark Farmer.
Yeah, I probably stole this one from you. I probably grabbed this one between your jaws.
Mm-hmm. That's all right. I don't mind. I mean, so much detail on this page. I mean, it was really stunning. I did see your list ahead of time, but I was like, oh, I would have picked that one if I had seen it.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, I'm an Alan Davis mark, and definitely an Excalibur fan. So this was really cool for me, mostly because I love the storytelling with how he illustrates Nightcrawler's basically attack on Astra, the multiple quick teleports to disorient her, and something that he's kind of known for, kind of one of his signature power stunts. But the way he illustrates it panel to panel really has that feel of quickness that we associate with Nightcrawler. So I thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I really like this page. And Davis is somebody I have something set aside at Mike's house, but I've not bought anything by Davis ever. So yeah, that needs to get corrected soon. And I have an Excalibur page set aside.
Perfect.
Yeah. Now if I could only get back, get the money together to buy it. So yeah, that is a trick. But no, it's a wonderful pickup. And let's see, Alexander. One of these days I got to make the fonts bigger on calf.
So this collector posted a ton of stuff this week. I nearly picked 2 of their pieces.
Huh. I don't recognize the name, so I'm going to open.
I didn't either.
For that. Huh. All right. There were a couple of people who posted a lot of artwork today. There was that Jared Simmons posted a lot of. I could have picked 2 or 3 pieces of his. It was tough trying to figure out, well, where do I go when somebody posts 6 or 7 great things? And so, speaking of Jared, right here, this was the Steve Rude piece, really nicely done. World War II cap versus Red Skull kicking some Nazi dollar signs.
Dollar signs, yeah. I picked this because I love the lighting so much. So I think it's such a cool and rarely seen thing. I mean, sometimes you see it in like like paperback book illustrations, but to have the like light source be way in the background like that and have it be really extreme, so like the artillery fire effectively being like the source lighting for the piece, and then the fact that he fades out or fades in, I should say, to darkness as you get to the foreground, I think is a really cool effect, and like I said, not something that I feel like you see a lot.
No, not at all. Certainly not in a color piece. I mean, that's just kind of the thought process going into this piece. I mean, if that really was what he was intending to do, I mean, that's really challenging, a challenging thing to try to tackle and to pull it off so well.
Yeah,
I mean,
he made it hard on himself.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, it's one of the, I wish I could see this thing a little bit bigger. I mean, I always like Steve's use of color too. I mean, there's so much subtle stuff going on in that really brightly lit background. I mean, the lighting underneath, through the Red Skull's leg there. I mean, he's just done a lot of really cool things here. And you're right, it's so dark up front where all the action's happening, where Cap is. He's like doing everything wrong, but the piece comes out so beautifully. So
well, the other thing that's interesting about it too is how he dials up and dials down the detail based on the level of the lighting. So Cap might be like murky as far as the lighting is concerned, but as far as the level of detail applied to the figure, he's one of the tighter rendered ones.
Correct. Yeah, no, Rick Welch says Steve's anatomy is spot on. Yeah, he's always awesome. And CJ, completely agree. His work is always unmistakable, but he tackles characters in specific ways depending on whom he's drawing. But this is a really very unique piece. I'd love to see this one in person. So congrats to Jared on this piece.
It's a beauty. It makes you wonder like what it does look like in person.
Yeah. And so Paulo, we were speaking about him earlier.
Right, another color piece. Painting fire, I think I've actually said this before, painting fire to me is such an amazing trick. And he does it so well here. This is this is an amazing piece. And you want to talk about a difficult lighting chore. Come on. To tell you the truth, though, the thing that I think I like about this the best is his choice of background color. That really neutral, like basically pavement color that he chose, because, everything but Ghost Rider and the Flames are effectively the same color. He does tone the color a little bit in the background and a little bit in the foreground, but essentially that's all the same color. So, I don't know. That gray is just such a cool way to highlight the figure and to literally highlight that fire.
No, I agree. I mean, I think that's one of the strongest things he's done here. I mean, other than the flames are incredible. I mean, you can hear the fire whipping around that front tire, right? I mean,
you can hear that motorcycle too.
Yeah, it sounds. You can hear that. You can hear it. So no, I mean, Paulo's awesome, and I think he, when he was painting regularly, I mean, he didn't produce as much. I think that's why he kind of stopped, because it was just his projects kind of dragged down a bit. But I loved, when he was painting, and I always thought that his paintings were, typically rather dark, and but they worked so well. And I look at this piece, and I think the background tone there. I mean, you can see the oranges in it. I mean, there is a lot of color in that gray tone that just makes the thing even more interesting. And
there's a richness to it.
Yeah, no, and it's great. Again, you get the two yellow line road there, and it's it's awesome. That's why I picked it for the show thumbnail. I was a little mad when you picked this one, Chris. Usually you stay away from my thumbnail images when I set them up.
It's a beaut.
All right. Well, this another one. Jared Simmons. I didn't even realize this was Jared's pick. All right.
Yeah.
So Chris Pace's artwork here. Troy Nixie. Some a Black Sinister pitch image. Whoa, this thing is huge. Now this is a big scan. Whoa.
So what I really love about this is the fact that you have this really fussy yet cartoony image of the character, and then contrasted by the like massive sound effects in the background. So just the cool, graphic element that he used with the blam 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 in the background, and then that really sort of more hyper detailed and like frenetic, sketchy inking style that Nixie's known for applied to the character.
Yeah, no, it's. I like the lettering too. I mean, that was the thing that I was thinking about too when I saw this image after I was going through your picks, and I just love that sketchy quality on the character too. I mean, they complement one another so well that this is just a great example of where sound effects can play such an important role in here. And he's made it such a putting them together and making them so large to fill the page like that. I mean, it's just a cool approach.
That's the piece, really.
Yeah.
I mean, is the sound effects, right? The character is almost auxiliary to it. But I think the cool thing about the character or the figure is that Nixie is so good at like exaggerating his cartooning and like really pumping up like the weird factor of how he's illustrating the humans in the especially in this image.
Indeed, Chris Lutz.
Are you laughing about Marcus's too soon Bill jokes?
Yeah, because I didn't catch that before. Because I talked about the double yellow line, and I looked over there and I read Marcus said, I feel like he follows the double yellow lines, unlike Bill. Yeah, that's too soon, Marcus. Let me see the accident report first before you throw me any more jokes.
Yeah, Marcus is going to get deposed if he keeps this up.
Oh man, I'm trying not to think about it, everybody. But yeah, no, this is awesome. Troy Nixie's stuff is so cool, and yes, Marcus's study line. Okay, thanks, Marcus. You just keep them coming. Yep. All right, and thank you for helping us break 81 likes, as Nick just mentioned. So, all right, look at my like. I got my like on there. So, Chris Pace, congratulations on that. And then we've got a piece here from Mikhail ML in the chat. For those of you who don't know. This was Jesse Lonergan.
Yeah.
This is and it was a New York Comic-Con pickup.
Yeah. Can you blow this up like right away?
Yeah.
So the important thing in my mind about this piece is that this is stamps.
Oh.
So he's done the vast majority of the coloration and a lot of the inking with stamps. Like he's literally stamping. And so you already mentioned that you put links to the images on these pics on YouTube. Yep. I highly recommend. ML posted a link to a video that Jesse Lonergan made of him applying the stamps to this piece. And I highly recommend, if you have a chance, go watch it, because he is doing some really, I hate the phrase, but out of the box things when it comes to putting these latest pieces together. He did an OMAC today that he mostly colored with a roller, like he's rolling, and it turned out so cool. And this is just another, Lutz totally right. It's been so cool to see this come together.
Interesting. So it's he's actually got it linked in the right here. He's got a link to a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mikhail was one of the many people who posted a lot of cool stuff, and probably I didn't pay attention to the New York Comic-Con reference, but yeah, his haul from the show was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
So anybody who hasn't visited his calf gallery this week should definitely check out the new section to see everything that he had. A few Galactus in there, and they're all spectacular. Mm-hmm. Let's see, we got two more pieces here. Koi Pal, Tim Townsend, Black Panther. Is this must be a cover, right? Yeah, it was the cover. Okay.
Yeah.
And this was in Jeremy Roberts' calf gallery. Cool.
So I promise I'm not saying this to taunt Fish, but I really love the tree. The tree on here is probably my favorite part of the whole thing, and what I really love about it is how he's used the twigs and the contrasting the trunk, and the trunk sort of like contrasting the figures, or like literally supporting the figures. Mm. But the way that he has the twigs and the branches like either taking up space or in some cases breaking into or across negative space is such a cool design element. And yeah, Jeremy posted really cool, more detailed scans as well.
Yeah, that's nice. I always like Tim Townsend's things on so many artists. He's such a great talent. He really kind of follows the pencilers direction, but he just has a really nice quality to his ink. So I think, this is really nicely done. If it only had a deer, then Fish would be, I don't know what he would be thinking about this piece.
His head would explode.
But no, this is nice. It's so much nicer. Storm is so soft. I mean, Black Panther is so slick, and then the tree feels like a tree. I mean, the texture wise for these three elements on the page
Definitely.
is just handled so well. And I like the fact that he's dark in the tree at the edges. I mean, it's just really smart piece of art there as far as kind of framing it and focusing in on the two characters. So
yeah,
really nice pickup here. Congrats to Jeremy on that one. And we got one more, Joe Kubert, Brave and the Bold page from 1962. Holy moly, 60 years old. Oh man, nice.
I don't know if you remember, but I'm 99.9% sure that this was bought from Mike on his pre-show special.
I think you're
San
right.
Diego special.
Yeah.
And I have been kicking myself literally every day since I let this go. I wanted this piece so bad, and I just couldn't make it. I couldn't pull the trigger that night, and I very nearly did, but I didn't. So congratulations to the guy who to the guy who had the cojones to make the purchase, because I deeply envy you. I so love this page.
Yeah, because this one was affordable.
It was, yeah, especially for the age and the fact that it's Kubert Hawkman. I mean, like, to me, say what you will about Sergeant Rock, like, Hawkman is in my mind a Kubert signature character for sure.
Right. Yeah, Michael Callahan. With the $3 million show, and he remembers that you asked to see it again, Chris. That's true.
I did.
Yeah, no, I remember that because I did that here in Florida when I was here by myself. That was a fun show.
I was doing the mental gymnastics on whether or not I could afford it, and I thought if I see it again, I'll be able to pull the trigger. But I didn't. But I dearly love this page.
Well, no, it's gorgeous. I mean,
those animal heads.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll see. It's funny. I didn't even notice like the cat head right there. I was so focused on the goat and the dog.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is it is gorgeous. But now you know who owns it. I mean, you know where it's at. Let's see. Who is it? It's in Peter. We got Peter R's Calf Gallery. So wow. Earth's Impossible Day, Joe Kubert Goodness, and Ink's signature characters Hawkman. Yeah. No. This is that's a doozy of a page.
Yep.
Yeah, all good picks as always.
Thanks, sir.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll switch over to mine if I can get the whole thing over here. All right, that. Remove it. Sorry, I wish there was a quicker way to. They should allow me to like preset all the things that I want to present versus having to stop and start.
I'm curious to see the guts of StreamYard at some point. I've been tempted to go in there myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful, right? I mean, it makes it so pretty much anybody can run a stream, but there's inefficiencies in it from a presentation standpoint. Everything's in a tab. If I want to switch between showing a video or highlighting a comment, it's cumbersome. That's why I had to bring Gwen in and as a spotter and doing dealers, because if I'm on the comments or if I'm showing the slides, I can't see the comments, and there needs to be it can be handled a little bit better, as great as it is. I'm still on my Mike Allred kick after doing that sales show, and
I get it.
Everybody, it was that was a fun show. I mean, obviously Mike was so happy when it was over, but there was just so much great art, and
what a cool guy! Wow.
Shoot, I would love to just hang out and talk to him. I don't need to do an art sale. I could do a quarterly show with Allred, and I think I'd have a great time. It would be so much fun. And the thing was, he's such an engaging guy. That was one of the few shows where we had a lot of interaction from the people in the chat, asking questions and things. I mean, people really wanted to talk with him. I thought that was great too. I mean, not that we don't always have a level of that, but when Mike was there, it was just really, really engaging and fun. And I think it kept him. And Laura was only supposed to be there for like 15 minutes. She stayed for almost the whole thing, right? I mean, I was so surprised because right at the beginning she was like, "I'm going to be out of here real soon. I'm going to leave." And she had a good time, so everybody was happy. Simon was happy, and it was and he actually sold all 5 of the Batman covers that didn't sell during the show. He sold right after the show, so that
That's
was
awesome.
I was like, shoot, it should always work like that. Yeah, so it was good. But this piece here, it just how can it not? Obviously it caught my eye, but when I saw the thumbnail, I was like, oh, that's so cool, and you knew immediately it was all right, but
Right.
I just really love this one because you're getting some subtle detail and stuff. I mean, I'm so used to seeing Allred's full figure characters, and I love the way his brushwork is. I mean, it's so definitive him, but going in here and just kind of cropping out, so you're only seeing a half a face of both figures on here. I just thought, it's such a fun, unique approach. And, and we're seeing a level of detail in Mike's work that maybe, we wouldn't normally get.
Yeah. I was just going to say it's much more, he really pumped up the rendering on these. And I think it's because of the, the closeness. And also, I also feel like, these images are based on real people, right? So while you can't really say like a likeness, but I mean, they are from life.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it was awesome. And so this was, we can actually swing over here. We've got Michael McIsaac. Congratulations, Michael. I think Michael was in the chat, right? Earlier, but
yeah, I think so. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I love this one. I mean,
it's a beauty.
I think, yeah, I mean, look at that. That's just so darn good. Whew. I love Allred's work. Even DC guys. All right, so we got next. Okay, this is more kind of a nostalgic pick, but I don't know. Still a sucker for anything that George Perez has put his hand to. I mean, ever since his passing, I feel like whenever I see it in artwork, a Teen Titans piece or anything, Avengers wise, I just have that nostalgic vibe. I want to take a look at it just to kind of remember George's career and stuff. And this is a book where you don't see a lot of original art from. This was the annual 3 from Uncanny X-Men. So Perez and Austin, just a really lots of action on this, and I think Austin's inks kind of make it even a little bit more special. But yeah, nice size scan. Just everything you want in a highly detailed George Perez piece. I mean, it's awesome. And you get Colossus in a Speedo. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
But I love that last one, that punch right there. That's all. You just get the boots of the character. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, as far as like action is concerned, I mean, this is action packed, and especially into these there's a ton of panels on this page, right? I mean, he's really putting a high level of detail, and he's packing it in.
Definitely. 1979, is that right? Oh yeah, look right up there, 1979.
So it's like earlier Perez, but it's also, I mean, it's still distinctively Perez.
Definitely, but you definitely can see Austin's inking touches in here, throughout, like in the tree and everything. So Terry's definitely bringing a lot to this piece. But yeah, it's just and again, this is probably one of the first annuals I read from Uncanny, and it's one that you just don't see a lot of pieces come up on the market. I mean, and I'd be surprised if there's more than 5 pages from it on CAF, and it's an annual, so there's probably at least mid 30s pages that should be out there. So just nice to see. And
was it Silvestri? I think it was Silvestri's run where that was literally Colossus's costume, right?
Yeah,
there was a run where he just had trunks, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So maybe this was the influence.
It could be. So Tony S, congratulations on that. I wonder, I'm just curious. He has a gallery room named George Perez. So, all right, he's got a Power Man, page 27, and he's also look, he's got 2. Holy moly! What the heck? How do you have 2 pages from this?
Robert Berman just said some pages have gone on Heritage.
Really? How am I missing this stuff? In the upcoming signature? Or are you just saying, they've gone this year? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, clearly I'm not paying enough attention. But yeah, look at that.
This one's more talky, but yeah.
Yeah, still, I'd be happy with this. Austin's inks. I mean, it kind of gives it. It's almost moving it into a little bit of a burn feel when Terry puts his work into it. But but again, figuratively, it's Perez. So
Especially Aurora. That's a very, burn-esque
okay.
storm.
Well, there you go. Tony gets two likes from me tonight. All right, so this is in Rick W's CAF, Legends of the Dark Knight Annual 5, and it's by Enrique Alcatena. I may pronounce that wrong, but I don't know anything about the story, but this page was just so dynamic. I really love the middle panel, and with Batman breaking it over, the edge of the panel into this other, stark, with no panel lines around it, image of Batman with the battery.
Gorgeous.
It is. I mean, it's just fantastic. But I really do love this panel right in the center. I mean, I think that just the wavy. It's not action lines at all. It's just like it's more like mist. It's just this really heavy weighted feeling to the image. I like the lighting on the is that Man Bat? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's Man Bat.
See,
yep.
I mean, I'm learning a little bit over the years, everybody. But yeah, just a nice page. I love again, he doesn't have a panel here. He breaks off the edge, goes to the edge with that. Just when you look at the structure of it, the top line to this panel, but Batman's shoulder is higher over here. I mean, it's just a really, really well thought out page design. I mean, it's super impressive. I'd love to have this page, or at least get to see it for a while. Because I even like this. I mean, it's something about the anatomy doesn't look quite right, but it doesn't matter. I mean,
I kind of get a like a Kyle Holtz or like a maybe even Liam Sharp vibe from the figure at the bottom.
Sure. Yeah. I could see that in both. But so this is I love the lettering in here too. This kind of italic kind of feel to the way it's written. It's just all around. Just everything about this page is just really well thought out from every angle on it. So congrats to Rick on this pickup. Let's see. This one, I don't know. I've not really read a lot of Miles Morales Spider-Man. I hate to say that, everybody, but Iban, go on, help me out with this one.
It's Iban Coelho.
Coelho. All right, thank you. I knew if I said Coelho, I'd be in trouble. So Coelho. Again, I wish I had a bigger image for this. I really liked, the kind of the perspective angle on it. But again, just the webbing tying it all around, I just thought it was really well done. It's it's almost literally like a roller coaster. So when you see the image, you just feel movement. The birds in the air help, the pitched angle, from the perspective standpoint, and just the dynamic figure of Spider-Man in there. I just loved everything about it. And again, I wish I could have seen it bigger, but I almost don't need to. I can tell this has to be just a really impressive image. Or a piece of art to be able to have in your hand because it's just so well done.
The tilt of the buildings and then juxtaposed with sort of the anti-tilt of Spidey, and then the webbing cutting that, like you said, that figure S through the middle. There's so much movement.
Yeah, agreed. So this is a very nice pickup. And who is Anthony Munier? I mean, I feel like I've never seen that name on CAF, and they've been a member of CAF since 2010. So they're almost going to have their 13th anniversary. So how do I feel like I've never been in their CAF gallery? So actually, I'm going to set that one aside. Go back to that, check out what else is in their CAF. So this one, I only picked it because honestly, I've always been looking for a Sky Masters piece, and there's a lot of Sky Masters art out there, of course. And I'll be honest, I didn't really read the strip too much. I've kind of just see the stuff on CAF. I've seen it. I've Googled it and then read other bits out of the strip. It's Kirby, Wally Wood.
Right.
But when I've been looking for pieces, for me to buy, I really want something that's where they're in space. And there's so many pieces that are where they're on Earth and they're training and other things, or maybe they crash landed and they're underwater. I mean, I've seen lots of different stuff, but I want something where they're in space. And this doesn't even have any characters in it. But when I see this, it just reminds me of why. Oh, okay, there are characters, and I didn't even look that close. It's why I want a page for this, because Kirby Wood together, it's just such a unique team up, right, between two artists on a strip, let alone just so well done. I mean, look at 1959. I don't want to look at it so close up, but I wanted a piece of art from the strip for probably 5 years, and I just have not seen the right page. And this one probably, wherever it popped up was probably one of more affordable because you don't have close-ups of the characters or anything. But
Yeah.
Um,
And then this is right before, right? Yeah, right before Showcase when they did Challengers.
True.
So I mean, this is historic stuff.
Yeah, just B&G mentioned that as well. Challengers
Yeah.
and FF. But yeah, it kills me. One of these days, I will have one of these in my collection. But
Easier to get one of these than to get a Challengers page.
that is very true. But again, it's like I got to have them in space. You think about it. Again, it's all back to how long you've been in the hobby. I can think back to like 10 years when I see them all the time. I feel like at least see at least 2 or 3 offered every 3 or 4, say 3 months, you'd see them, and I'd be like, oh, well, one of these days I'll get one.
Right.
So now that I've decided I want one, I never see them. I never see them in space. Like, they're always someplace else. They're always not where I want them. So one of these days. So Mark Levy, nice piece here. Barry Windsor Smith, inked by Bill Everett, and it's from Astonishing Tales 6. He wrote some nice things in there. But again, just what. This is kind of similar to your pick with the lettering. As much as I love the Everett inks on Windsor Smith here, there was something about the lettering. You look at that second panel, the hurry, 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 and it kind of spreads into the third one, and even just this, the loud booming voice, of the character. I was attracted to this piece first because of the lettering and the way it was breaking over the panels.
Yeah,
and then the hurry, hurry, hurry through the second and third panel, the knock, knock. Just really, really. I mean, and then I was attracted to the art because it's obviously Barry Windsor Smith. I mean, this screams him, and you get with the Everett inks just makes it better. But the lettering, the storytelling done through everything there with the lettering, whether it's the boxes or their shouts, it's fantastic.
I love that kind of stuff where they're clearly like they're pushing it, right? Like they're pushing the medium.
Mm-hmm. A little better, but yeah, that's just Mark is a big Barry Windsor Smith fan, collector, has great stuff in his calf gallery. So if you haven't looked at Mark's calf in a while, you definitely should, especially if you like Barry Windsor Smith. But yeah, I love this page. Just love everything about it.
It's a beauty.
So hey, I picked a DC from Glenn Brunswick, Nick Cardy.
This is so good. This was my 11th piece. This is what I can't do it. I can't do 11.
Well, I've corrected it. I helped you out here with this one. Me too. I mean, I'm not a DC guy, but I saw this image and just overall, I mean, good grief, my super speed is wiping out the city. I mean, everything about this thing is just, it just blows my mind. Because I think of Cardi and I don't think of images like this. I don't know why. I think more character pieces and nicely drawn faces and things, but I mean, this is a nice action page, and again, they've tilted the perspective. But the flash is just so well done. I like the fact that on the right side of the figure, he's blurred out. Just everything about it is just really, really, really well thought out and executed. So I don't know. Cardi has always been kind of hit or miss for me, but this is a
really
home run piece.
I guess I get what you're saying about what you expect to see from Cardi. I mean, to me, I associate him with he's clean. Everything is very tight. Sometimes it can interiors can be a little stiff, but I feel like particularly his covers, and maybe a little later than this, or even earlier with his Titan stuff. I feel like he does draw action super well, and I feel like he draws, this is going to be a weird comment, but I feel like he draws calamity really well. So things, going wrong or exploding, the city really is falling apart in the background here. A lot of, you'll notice his Titans covers, it looks like all hell's breaking loose. People are falling, they're trying to catch each other or grab one another, or Cardi to me is from this period of his work. I would say he's one of the best artists at DC in this period.
All right, you're going to force me to do a search on CAF for Nick Cardy covers, and I'm gonna look him over.
I think that's what he does best. That's my bias, but I think that's what he does best.
It's okay to have a bias. It's probably Cardy isn't somebody who I've looked at a lot, so it's probably why. It's the DC thing, of course, but no, sure. I will check him out more. I'd love to see more pieces like that. And I know what you're talking about when you mentioned the other titles. So I get it. But again, nice. This is always kind of a fun period for at least for me. I love the boxed covers, even when Marvel did them as a style. I just thought they were kind of fun and interesting. Just different. I mean, we're so used to the covers kind of going underneath the logos, but it was just an interesting period for comics when they were doing them in this style as well.
Yeah, it's almost like album art.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Marcus says we should call him the Ramita of DC.
Sure.
All right. Well, speaking of Marcus, this is a piece from Marcus's Cap Gallery that he added this week. Appropriate, I guess, because I haven't watched that Marvel show yet. But
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Honestly,
all right.
That's probably my favorite thing they've done in the last, I don't know how long. It was really
all
weird.
Right, I have to watch it. I forgot. I kind of forgot about it with the move going on and stuff. But I'm kicking myself because I really do want to watch.
Wait until Halloween.
Yeah, just binge it.
It's a great Halloween. Well, it's only like I think 50 minutes long.
Oh shoot! Okay, so just
it's like a special.
All right, I didn't read a lot about it. I thought it was more like a 2 or 3 episode thing. So it's just a 50-minute. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll save it for Halloween. Sounds good to me. But yeah, this is Plug. Come on, it's Plug Man-Thing.
Yeah.
And I know Marcus always gives us the huge scans, but look at that. I mean, I don't know. Nobody drew. Well, Starlin did a good Man-Thing too. All right, but to me, Plug's the guy as far as drawing Man-Thing. And this thing is just that last panel right there, just freaking awesome.
It's all drippy and grotesque. I mean, Man-Thing is like Plug is made for Man-Thing, and Man-Thing is made for Plug, right? It's a match made in heaven.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. Remember there was that Man-Thing page on. I've always wanted a page for Man-Thing. I don't know why. I guess because I loved horror comics as a kid, and I always thought that Man-Thing was just cool because he was, in Marvel and it was a horror book. So one of these days, well, actually, I did get that Ed Hannigan page, but it doesn't have Man-Thing on it. So I've got to get one where Man-Thing is actually on it. But this is a great pickup, Marcus. I love the artwork in your collection. You always come up with something interesting to show every time you post something. So this is a good one. I'm envious that you got this piece in your Cap Gallery. So congrats.
Very cool. Yeah.
Let's see. We got 2 more here to look at. Eric DLS's Cap Gallery. Let me get my like on this one first. So this is by Jonathan Wayshak, and I mean the detail on this thing just blew me away. I mean,
It's staggering,
isn't it? And I mean, I love everything about it. The super fine detail on the character everywhere. It doesn't matter, wherever I look, the detail is super tight in the ink work, and then you've got the whiteout effect with the lightning around the hammer. I mean, there's so much thought put into it, but it looks so haphazard. But when you look at it in its entirety, it's just so darn
methodical.
Yeah. I mean, so. And then I don't know who are these characters down. I think you wrote it in the title, right? Dumpster Howard and Dumpster Cat. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, so Howard the Duck.
Oh, that is Howard the Duck. See, now that I didn't even think that was Howard the Duck because it was so gross.
Well, the cigar, I think, is the.
All right, it gives it away. Away. I've never seen him hold a gun that big though.
Now I don't know who Dumpster Cat is. I'll fully admit to that.
Well, I mean, look at all the detail in there, though. I mean, shoot.
Well, I really love how varied the inking technique is here, but it's still all cohesive. I mean, parts of it are honestly clean looking, and then parts of it are, he's doing it with dots. Parts of it he's doing it with like what looks like a quill. Parts of it are definitely done with like micron. You mentioned the whiteout, like the diffuse lighting effect that he gets on the hammer. I mean, that's just otherworldly skill. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I actually had to go back, and I hadn't picked this one, but I had an overlap. I think I picked something from somebody that you had picked, and so I was like, oh, I'm going to change this. So I went back and found this one. I was happy to force myself to go back and look at a couple days worth of stuff to come up with this one. So congrats to Eric on this one. It's beautiful.
Very
Really
cool.
is. Even though I didn't realize that was Howard the Duck. I mean, now I see him and I can't not think of him as Howard. But look at him; he doesn't look. That's the ugliest Howard the Duck I've ever seen.
He's got a really big forehead for
Yeah, he
sure.
does, and like a mohawk thing, and it's just, yeah. Okay,
Knowing Howard, it's like a receding hairline, right?
that's right. All right, one last piece, and I did this piece because of the IX Art Show. This is owned by Patrick Wilshire. He owns the IX Art Show with his lovely wife Jeannie. This is a piece by Ed Binkley, and let's see, I'm pretty sure. He listed as mixed media. It's colored, and primarily this stuff is done in colored pencil.
Wow.
Ed Binkley was. We do this body of work award every year with Infected by Art, and what basically it's the winner of that award. They have to submit at least 6 pieces to the competition, and then rather than the overall jury that we have that selects the artist for that issue to win the body of work award, the only people that can vote on that are the other people that submitted to the competition. So it's the winner is chosen by their peers based on people who submit, at least up to 6. They can submit 10 total, but we request that to be the limit. So Binkley won it the year before, and you can see his pieces are rather large, and they're just, I mean, I've seen several in person at IX, and they're just amazing. He's an incredible artist, and again, if anybody's going to IX, I think Ed's there, or at least he was scheduled to be there. But yeah, to see these things in person will just blow you away. And congrats to Patrick for picking this piece up, because it was one of the pieces that Ed had submitted last year to get the Body of Work Award.
Does this blow up?
It does not, and I don't know why. Because Patrick isn't Patrick. Yeah, Patrick. Oh, he's not a premium member. What the heck, Patrick? Oh my gosh! Because I bet you it's only 800 pixels tall. All right, I'm gonna have a talk with Patrick.
Too bad. I feel like he could really pull over this.
Yeah, he's done a lot for me over the years. I should just give him a premium membership and tell him to re-upload his darn images, because he actually has he's helped me out of in a lot of situations, and especially a ton of things with Infected by Art. He's done a lot of PR for me. So yeah, maybe I should do it for him. So at any rate, it really is. And again, anybody who's never been to IX, and you probably can't make it this weekend, it is every year in October, the third week in October. And again, it's a show really worthwhile. Even if you just go for the day, it is always one of the more unique experiences. And if you can go, you should probably go on a Friday or Saturday so you can hit the showcase too. The showcase, I think is it open at 8 or 9? I mean, it opens up late and goes to like midnight or 1 o'clock. It's just a fun experience. You go from one gallery show, hit dinner somewhere, and then you immediately roll back to the hotel and do a second show. With a whole 110, 120 new artists. So it's just a really, really, really unique experience. In
Very
the middle
cool.
of PA. Yep. So all right. Well, those are my picks. Chris, fantastic job as always.
Thank you, and to you.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to point out we're just over 2 hours.
Yes. Yeah, I was hoping we could actually get it to 2 today.
I think we could have. I think we maybe could have.
Probably could have, but the artwork's fun to talk about, and what are you going to do? But thank you as always. I appreciate it, Chris. And,
of course, thank you.
I will talk in the green room after the show. I'll be done in a few minutes here. And
sounds good.
Because I can tell you next week, Mikhail will be doing the selections, and then the week after that, it's Larry. Larry Tom is going to be back, and we're gonna 2 in a row, 2 guests.
Loving it.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, everybody. So fun show. I thought we could get it done in 2 hours, so we're pretty close. Like I said, we didn't have any flips this week. I have had a couple people that have emailed me in the last, I think even almost a week ago, asking for information about flips, and I just couldn't get back to anybody. I do apologize. I think some of you are in the chat tonight too. So I'll make the time tomorrow to answer the questions about the flips and give you the folders to upload your flips to. So we should have at least 1 flip. Maybe we'll have 2 next week. And so if you're thinking about them, please do them. Dramatic readings. I mean, Adam set the bar high, everybody, really, really high. But we got to. If nobody's going to submit one, I'm going to do one with Gwen or Maureen or something. We're going to come up with one for next week because we've got to have another one. Got to have something different in there. But I will post the dramatic reading separate to the channel tomorrow, so everybody can see it at their leisure. Again, thanks. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. And let's see what Tim says. He's getting 2 new Atoyas at Baltimore so he can do another flip. All right, Tim. No, that's great. Your flip was a good one too. I always need more flips. I wish everybody would think. If you're open to recording yourself talking about artwork in your own collection, a flip's not hard to do, really. At the end of the day, I mean, they're fun, and you're talking about stuff you love, stuff you own. Nothing can be easier than that, and you don't have to be on camera. That's even better, right? For those of you who are camera shy. So, Adam says that Howard has seen things. Exactly, he's seen things that no human or duck should ever see. All right, everybody, I'm going to call it a night. I do have, my next show is going to be the interview next Tuesday, so I really have a bit of time off. So I guess that's good. I've got a lot of unpacking to do. Still, it's going to be. Maureen and I have decided it's probably going to take us until January 1st to get everything unpacked here. So it's we've got a whole mountain of stuff to go through. But again, thanks for all the well wishes this week for myself and my daughter. I mean, we sincerely appreciate it. And as you can see, I think we're fine. We'll get our doc appointment taken care of in the morning, and get the seal of approval that we're all A-okay. But I do appreciate all the thoughts and well wishes sent our way this week. So have a wonderful weekend. And for those of you who are at IX this weekend, really have a great time. Patronize those artists, and those that you're not buying stuff from, talk to them about their art. I mean, that's the best part of going to IX every year is the interaction you get to have with the creators there. And I encourage everybody to kind of put it on their schedules in the future. You got to go to at least one. It is to me probably my favorite show every single year. It's right up there with Heroes now, everybody. And probably Baltimore after the weekend after next, but you got to add it to your schedule. So good night, and I will see you again next Tuesday with my fun interview with Rob. I know